have your identity be internal and have it be firm. Who are you? Who are you really? What do you really care about? Where do you want to put your time? What do you want to end up living for? Right? That should be your identity. What are you willing to live for?
I've built many startups. Most of them have failed. So Bitcoin is exactly the place that I like to be.
We're going to end it right there. So we're just going to get talking here. No notes. No notes here, guys. I'm greasy as fuck, and that's just the way it is. It's been a long night. We've been working hard. We've been working exceptionally hard. And there is something that I am really excited to do. And it is a big part of our launch. It's a big part of what we're doing. And it's going to be an amazing experience. Now, what is so interesting about I apologize for the nondescript, conversation here, but it is what it is. We're just turning on the mic and I'm just talking because I just want to let you guys know that this is what I'm thinking about. This is what's going on in my mind, and I like that I'm able to do that on this channel freely. And frankly, if it helps you, if it's just entertainment, I'm okay with that. So be entertained. But so this thing that I'm doing, someone I'm relatively close to, is asked me a question. He said, "Hey, this thing is changing in your identity," and he said it in a way where the context was that it was like a negative, like you're losing something, or losing part of my identity. And I immediately responded back, and I said, no, that's for weak-minded individuals. That's for weak-minded individuals. It really is. See, weak-minded individuals, what they do is they allow for any peripheral, tangible asset to be part of their identity. That makes you weak. Because when that peripheral outside entity, that outside artifact, that outside thing is part of your identity, and that thing is lost or taken or destroyed, then part of you are destroyed as well. That puts you in such a weak position. And that's the way that I want to phrase it. I'm not saying that people who have artifacts or items in their possession and they have taken on that as part of their identity. I get it. I think it is natural to do so. And I'm not saying that those individuals are weak, but what I am saying is that puts them in a position of weakness in which the fragility, the fragile nature of the world, the fragile nature of the unknown life has such a way of biting you in the fucking ass. It really does. And nothing can prepare you. Nothing can ever prepare you for what is going to happen. You have no crystal ball. There's no known outcome here. And so I responded to him and I said, hey, that just makes for putting yourself in a weak position, right? And I don't want to be in that position. And I said, what makes you strong is your identity is 100% internal, 100% internal. Because if you have your identity at 100% internal, then nothing in this world, no tangible item, no artifact, no nothing outside yourself can ever destroy you. Unless, they kill the body. If they kill the body, then is what it is. You got 187, you is dead, sucker. But, and I think that's so important. And I think this is something to remind myself about, and from time to time, certainly, because doesn't life have a way? Doesn't life have a way of the more time that you have something, right? The more time that you have something, the more over time it becomes just a part of you. It becomes part of your routine. It becomes part of your natural behaviors. It becomes part of your daily behaviors. And in so much as that type of experience, right? Experience together, you and that item, you and that artifact, you and that thing, right? Like a Lambo, right? The more that you spend time with that, it becomes part of who you are. And people recognize that outside artifact, that our outside car, as who you are, right? And so, it's just natural, especially in the car world, if you show up without your daily driver, right? This is kind of my daily driver when it comes to doing anything fun, right? And so if I don't show up in this, they wonder, and people wonder, and they say, "Hey, man, you're not driving in the Lamborghini flamethrower today. What's up?" It's like, well, I got other cars, I got other interests, I got other things I enjoy, right? I enjoy driving the race car, I enjoy driving the Mini Cooper, right? I enjoy driving the Q7. I enjoy driving lots of different things. But see, that's the idea, is that, right? The more time that you spend with something, and that something is just, it's part of your outward reflection, right? It's part of your daily engagement with other individuals. Those other individuals work on symbols, right? We all work on symbols. And so they see you and they recognize this common symbol, or this, not common, but this consistent symbol with you, and they associate it with you. So it is only natural over time that gets ingrained into your identity. But that's what I'm talking about. We have to be careful of that. And I think, regardless of situation, I think it might even be, and I haven't thought through this. I'm just kind of I'm riffing here, kind of like, I haven't given it a lot of thought, but I think I think a lot of people are put in situations where they have to react. They have to react to something, right, in life. They're not prepared, or they're not mentally prepared, or they're not, fully prepared for life. Or maybe it's just experience. They haven't been punched in the fucking face as many times as other people. I can tell you right here, I've been punched in the face so many times. I got a thick skin, exceedingly. I don't mind getting punched in the face. It means I'm moving forward. Fuck, if you never get punched in the face, I mean, what are you doing? And so, where the fuck was I going with that? Punched in the face, guys. Oh, it just becomes part of your identity over time. And I think a lot of people react. Right? They react to situations in life that they're not prepared for. And then things have to go. Artifacts, cars, things have to go. Maybe you've been financially irresponsible. Maybe you've made poor relationship decisions, right? That's pretty much it, right? Those two things. You either make really shitty financial decisions, or you make really shitty relationship decisions. And then you could say, oh, well, there's a job. Well, who do you have to work with? It's relationship. It's always relationship. So, if you fuck up, financially, or fuck up relationally, then sometimes things have to change, right? And if you identify with those things, right? If you identify with those things and you have to react to now the imminence of change, the abruptness of that change, right? It can feel like a true, abortion of your identity. It can be completely like a severing. Man, that was a really fucked up word to use, because that shit's nasty. But it's just like a true severing of part of you. And I can tell you, I don't mind admitting this to anyone out there. It doesn't mean anything to me, but I have had real shedding events in life, and I'm sure you guys have too, but I don't mind saying it on camera, right? I have had real shedding moments, like moments where you feel grafted, you feel just you just grafted to the fucking bone, right? You've just lost a significant chunk of your side, of your leg, your arm, your heart, mostly your fucking heart, right? That's what you've lost a piece of. I'd go even deeper because I've experienced this. Sometimes the savagery of the event can be so severe that you feel like your soul, it has been pierced, completely pierced beyond repair. And I can use this language. I have words to describe this because I have been there. And if you have too, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Soul piercing, a grafting to the fucking bone, right? A ripping of the soul, right? Experience where something has been taken or destroyed, right? That type of wounding, right? That type of deep wounding. And then, where are you? Where are you? Because you put so much of your identity into this thing, into this outside thing. That's the key. If you put so much of your identity into this outside thing, then you are a fragile and frail and high-risk individual for mental breakdown, soul breakdown, energy breakdown, right? Physiological breakdown. Because when that thing gets destroyed, whatever it is outside you, right? When that thing gets destroyed, when that thing gets removed, taken, stolen from you maybe, then you feel the absolute brunt force trauma incomprehensible. There's no way that I can fully describe the feeling. And I'm going back. I don't want to go back. It's depressing. But that's what I'm trying to describe to you. Don't let it be so. Don't let it be so. Don't let it be so. Because I have experienced that. And if you're younger than me, then fuck. Please, don't allow for things outside yourself to be your identity. Don't let it be so. Because those things will only burn you. They will only burn you in the end of days. That's just how life works. And so what's the answer? Your identity has to be inside. It has to be in here. Because as the world fucking burns around you, sometimes life feels like that, right? As the world burns around you, you can be firm in your place in the universe, on this plane. You can be firm on the firmament. You can be firm because as the world changes, you don't. Now what is this identity? Well, if you're of a religious a religion, if you want to call it that, then your identity is in that Messiah, that God, right? That could be a very valid mechanism for amazing power in your life. I believe it, especially if you really take on the great aspects of that religion, only the good. There's bad shit, but if you only take the good, then good can come from that. I believe. But there's forget the faith aspect for a second. Some of you guys will be like, oh, you can't remove it. Okay, understand where I'm going. Is that it has to be in here. I don't care what you call it, faith. identity, how you see yourself, your internal worldview, your third eye, right? Your third eye perspective, right? The inside you, the inner mind, the inner voice, the inner spirit, the inner, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But it's here. It's hidden. It's safe. Now, you can open up your identity, your internals, to the world. Frankly, what I am doing right now is an extension of that, of being able to, as best I can, communicate these types of ideas from my heart, internally, outward. And you know what? You know what the risk is of revealing part of that identity, that real you, that internal voice. The risk is always being hurt too. If you give a fuck about what other people think. Now, if you're a smart person, then you would know, because you listened to my podcast episode on 5 reasons why not giving a fuck about what other people think is the best way to live. But go back and listen to that. So you can't be hurt because you don't give a fuck about what other people think. You can give out your identity all you want. Gotcha. Isn't that awesome? Isn't it awesome? Because you're listening to me. You're listening to me right now. And I'm talking about this thing in kind of a meta way. I'm talking about this thing kind of in a third person perspective of sorts. But I don't mind talking about it. Right? You can't hurt me. It's the internet. You can't hurt me. It's the fucking internet. And I believe, you want to know a belief that I have? I believe that the world needs more people that are willing to just share their heart, no matter what it is. They could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, and I'm corrected a lot, mostly by people who like to send me emails and tell me how I should have done X, Y, and Z. Sure. Right? When your identity is internal, it's in here, and nothing out there can hurt you. And you know this, because it's all just words. Why would you let words hurt you? That's crazy talk. Why would you let text hurt you? This is the real world, flesh and blood, baby. Flesh and blood, baby. Like, have your identity be internal and have it be firm. Who are you? Who are you really? What do you really care about? Where do you want to put your time? What do you want to end up living for? Right? That should be your identity. What are you willing to live for? I know what I'm willing to live for. I'm willing to live for myself and my family. Easy. I'm willing to live for myself and my family. I'm willing to live for, let's even go farther, I'm willing to live for building things that will change, I hope, will change the world. I like building new shit. I like trying new things. I like experimenting in life because I have a short time in life, and so do you. And you know what? I really want to learn as many things as I can before I die. I just think that's a worthy cause. I think that's a worthy thing to pursue. I think that's a worthy place to put my time. And what's great is I have found that the more that you experiment in life and the more that you learn in life, the more doors and more opportunities come about, emerge, show up, show their face. It's a fascinating thing. And you know what? And I won't lie here and be, fake humility, fake bullshit humility. I receive emails, DMs, texts, and other means of communication. Not often, But sometimes I receive emails of such heart-churning, heart-burning stories that just set my heart on fire because of something I said or something I did. Right? I received a note the other day. This just makes me feel so good. I received a note the other day of a guy who's a CTO of a blockchain company that's doing very successfully. And this guy wrote me, he pinged me and he let me know that my cryptocurrency videos from like 3 years ago helped get him into this technology market, to this new demographic, to this new technology stack, this new world. And to hear that 3 years later, whatever, I don't know what it is really, and I don't even know what video, it doesn't even matter, is that person's life was changed because something I said, and the diligence that I had to not quit and keep working and keep talking and keep doing in the space that I believe in. Something will happen. Someone will notice. Someone will say, hey, Peter, I could use that guy. He could help me. Maybe he could help me do something great. Shit. That's how opportunities arise. Does this make sense, guys? So please, do not let, this is your Sunday sermon, guys. Sunday sermon. Don't allow outside things to become your identity. I believe that a lot of people react to shit that happens in life, financially or relationally, and then part of their identity is grafted, is changed, is ripped, destroyed, and then they can't deal with fucking life. Okay? It's because you put yourself at risk because your identity on something on the outside. Don't do it, guys. Put your identity in the inside, which I have explained to be, what are you willing to live for? What are you willing to do in life, to experience in life? Like, put yourself towards that. It doesn't have to be permanent. It can be temporary, but it needs to be in here. It needs to be the internal driver that's going to persevere you when times get fucking tough. When the shit really matters. When you get to the decision point of, fuck, am I at the cliff? Do I have to jump off? Is that what it's going to take to do this, to make this a reality, to make this thing work? Because it's so fucking easy to turn around or quit, go back to the old life of slavery. Put your identity in that, in working towards that life-changing decision. That's a great way to round this out. And I'm saying it mostly to hear myself talk, to reinforce me, to self-program me to greatness in this life. What is the personal identity? I'll tell you mine, because it just emerged to me as I spoke. My personal identity is to grind and work as hard as I can to those life-changing decisions. Am I going to quit? Or am I going to see this fucking thing through? Am I going to jump off the cliff? If I'm going to give it my all, am I going to put it all in? All the chips in. Everything. And you say, fuck. That's what you want to live for? Those types of decisions? Hell yeah, because when if you show up, to life, if you show up to life on game day, on that decision, that life-changing decision, and you show the fuck up, you'll never regret it. You'll never regret the decision to jump. You'll never regret it. I haven't. And it's been fucking hard. It's been fucking hard. But I never regret the decision to jump.